Now, why don't we just go ahead and, oh, let's see, what else do we got to do? When we save the sprite sheet, and what we want to do is update back to the main form and fill out the columns on the main form list icon. And as I recall, we had a couple 3 fields over here that we flagged to be displayed on the main screen. We put up both of this guy here, we filled him in with a name and then both of the combo boxes. So Class Builder has very cheerfully built us a name. Well, we're going to need a little more than name. Let's see if I jump over to Class Builder, the actual model, and we scroll down. We have, these are the dealing with the SS tiles. See, all we have is the load list icon. I didn't break that up into 2 like I did the other. So we have to manually do this. So gosh, we're going to have to write a little bit of code. Normally what I'll do is come up here and say, let's define line. And we can say, come in after we've loaded set data. That's where we've taken all the fields from the screen that the user put in and bring them back into our object. And so after that's done, we'll come over here and say line equals, we can say work sprite sheet name. And we will put that here. And then we can say plus pound LF dollar, dollar, and then we will add to that get, what was our first combo on this screen? Do you recall? Let's see, it's grid type, right? Grid type. All right, so get grid type. Get, oh wait, that's the call inside. Grid type, get grid type, and now we want to pass it the work sprite sheet grid type ID. Okay, so that returns the string, and now we'll add another pound LF dollar, and that should be all uppercase. And okay, so then we're going to add a category. That probably is enough. And I can say get category, and then we'll pass in work sprite sheet category ID, CAT, oops, I forgot the backslash, CAT, and there that goes. And for good measure, I always throw in a trailing LF dollar. Okay, so for those not familiar with using the pound LF dollar, that's a line feed. You can also add a pound CR, which would be carriage return, and you can put them together and do a pound CR LF dollar, which is carriage return and line feed. So we now have line all loaded up for us. And over here, we swap this guy out for that. And now we've actually taken all their data input and we're updating it back into on an insert. And now down here, we do the exact same thing here. and that will be what we need to do. So, and he will update the selected record. So, with luck, we hit enter and hopefully everything compiles. And it didn't. And let's go see. That will be most likely. Let's come over here. And we are on sprite sheet. Wait a minute. Tile. Okay. So we're in the wonderful catch-22. Okay, so sprite sheet. Tile references sprite sheet, so sprite sheet's got to be first, but sprite sheet is calling a couple functions from tile. So if we come over here, and what we want to do, since we're calling, well, we can just copy these three. Actually, we could probably cut them. Let's not. Let's just copy them. We need to put some of these declares back here on sprite sheet. So this way, this is the database table. All right, so scroll back up to the top here, and we can just slap them in there. So again, it comes into the single thread of execution that we're dealing with, where we're in the code for sprite sheet, but we need to reference a function that's on tile. So we declare it, therefore sprite sheet knows it's gonna exist at some point, and therefore wait until it does, and then you can call it. Then he knows how to link it up. So that's kind of a pain in the butt sometimes. Oh goodness, I put that on the wrong line myself. Look at that. So take that out of there, and we will put line in here. Yeah, didn't share it. I needed to create it and define it. A typo on my part. Nobody's perfect. One of my pet peeves when I always ask somebody in an interview on coding, I was like, what's your biggest mistake you always make? They're like, well, I don't really make any. That's like, yeah, everybody makes mistakes. I don't care if you're God, you're making a mistake. Okay, so if you notice, we got our list icon here. He got populated. Granted, he got populated with nothing because our class has no tiles. So, but he got his new name. Didn't quite make him big enough, kind of like on the front sheet there. And we got our parentage working, if you notice. So we can, let's see, if we came in here and said, this is going to be square grass. So how about if we call it square grass? And let's go ahead and add. Let's load a tile. You're probably wondering, how did all this crap get hooked up? Well, again, Class Builder knows that we're dealing with images. We told him that we have an image. And so he said, well, you'll obviously need to have functions for loading and clearing images. So he added, he linked these guys up, and he wrote all the code for us. So we can say grass 1. Let's be like really, I guess, stupid about it. Okay, so let's come over to, where did we have that? This is called parent, LM, and there it is, parent. And we will go to images, and we'll go to tiles, and we'll go to grass, and we'll select grass 1. Looks, there he is. And now we can hit save, and we have grass 1. and we can hit save here. And now we have square grass. We can come in and modify him. We got him here. Now the only thing left to do would be to say, when we select this row, as I recall, we have an image over here we want to populate. So our last piece of code to this entire structure, anybody keeping track of how many actual lines of code we've typed? So let's come up here and say this is sprite sheet. We come to, there's those guys. Where's list icon? Left click. Actually, let's go with change, huh? We'll go with change. So on change, we will say index equals get gadget state. And then we'll say if index is greater than -1. Okay. And GADGET. And that is going to be on him. And then what we can say is, okay, let's go in and select element. Select element, work, sprite sheet, and this will be our sprite sheet tile collection, and we will select index. So now we've got our child class, and now we can say set gadget state, and this will be gadget FRM sprite sheet, and this is our little image tile, and we will say let's see, image ID, and we will throw in our child class linkage and say image. All right, so now let's go ahead and fire that up. If I haven't typed something silly, we should now be able to start this thing off. Come on, you can get there. There we go. So we'll modify him. We'll come in here. Oh, he's got to change. There we go. Look at that. We got our tile just by clicking on the grid. So there is how Class Builder works. Okay, that's a parent-child relationship. He wrote 98% of our code for us. We defined the screens and then mapped everything all out. Generated the code, did a little bit of debugging, added a little bit of code in there, and life's good. We can do anything we want. So that pretty much concludes the demo part of this. I want to do a deep dive on the database layer that was built with this child class and go through some of the nuances there and how that works. So you got a good grasp and understanding there. Okay, that was a mother. Yeah, that was probably 30 minutes, 20 minutes.